Today's September 14th. Woes on the road. The Bucs just can't win games on the road at all. But we'll talk about other stuff. You're listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Yins, guys. Thank you for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast, where we talk all about them Pittsburgh Pirates and that. My name is Josh. I am joined, as always, by my brother, Jake. What's up, Jake?
Not much, man. You know what I actually started doing the other day?
Uh-oh.
Started Cheers over again.
Let's go.
Season 1. Let's go.
Season 1 of Cheers is so good.
So good. Well, most of the seasons of Cheers are good. But
yeah.
The first one is just really, really good.
Coach, you know what I mean?
Coach is good. What's his name?
Coach is good. Ernie Pantuso.
Absolutely. I always try to keep things like that in the back of my head because I go to trivia nights a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And if anything asked about Cheers, I want to know the answer.
Yeah, the
Cheers and Friends. Those are the two I want to know the answers for.
Okay. You know, the guy calls in and he says, he answers his phone. He says, Cheers or whatever. And then he says, is there an Ernie Pantuso here? And somebody's like, that's you, Coach. And he just goes back to the phone and goes, speaking. Like,
I love it.
It's great.
So good.
Yeah, that is.
Hey, in my life in sports, I got my first birdie today. Legit, no mulligans, no nothing.
All right.
Got a birdie today. So, hey, cross that one off my checklist.
Good for you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have some things to talk about today. I know that the Pirates lost. I know that it's not necessarily what everybody wanted it to be, but we have things to talk about. Why is that happening? Sorry. I just tried to move my tabs so I could have more room, and I realized that those were a different tab. We're good.
Put it on my tab.
But Yeah. So anyway, we're going to talk about the right side of the infield a little bit today. And we'll cover some of the stuff that went on this weekend and some of the things there. But later on in the show or here in a little bit, we're going to dive into specifically Spencer Horwitz, Nick Gonzalez. We're getting to the end of the season, Jake, and they're not playing for anything. I know they're playing for jobs and what they're going to do next year and who's going to do what and all those things. And we'll maybe touch on some of those things. But generally, it's time to... Okay, there you are. Got the Mountain Dew?
Yeah.
All right. Hold that thought.
Sorry.
I'll show you that other thing. It's time to... We're looking forward already. And so we're going to start diving into the positions that we have, the positions that this past season of the guys. And I guess, I know it's not the end of the season yet, and there's still a little bit to be written, but why not? Why not start covering all around the field, looking at what we have?
It's never too early.
Well, it is if you're like mid-August and a guy can still tack on a real hot September to change his numbers overall, but like a Jared Triolo.
After September 1st, it's never too early.
Well, you're
pretty much guaranteed a losing season again.
I was using that opportunity to say a guy like Jared Triolo, who is fooling us again into thinking that he might be a viable option on a baseball field. He's not, Jake.
Listen, I agree, but I hope so do the people in the office that make the actual decisions.
Scale of 1 to 10. 10 being most likely, 1 being least likely. Jared Triolo breaks camp next spring training as the Pirates' starting shortstop.
6.
That's way too high for comfort.
So
in the chat, what do you guys think? I want to know. See, Cheryl says 8. Cheryl says 8.
I think as it sits right now, I have a gut feeling that he's going to be our opening day starting shortstop. Now, I think there's a possibility that one person can change that. It's not anybody who's a free agent. It's Connor Griffin.
Oh,
if he can do enough to break camp as the starting shortstop, is the only way that I think Jared Triolo is not. So that's why I give it a 6, because I still think there's a good chance that Connor Griffin is our starting shortstop to open camp. I think it's an option. If I didn't, I'd be sitting around an 8, and not because I like that option.
As Cheryl said too, not that I want that to happen. Martin says 3. Connor is the starting shortstop. OG also said 8. So
I think
Cheryl says she's going to see Connor Tuesday night.
Nice.
I've actually, there's quite a few people that I've seen are making the trip to go see the Curve in the playoffs and whatnot. Or is this still the end of the regular? No, they're in it right now.
Yeah, the thing is, for me, I'm hoping, because I'm all in on Connor Griffin right now, and what he's doing is just, it's the type of numbers that you can't overlook. Like, this is the real deal. I think that it's been almost a full season now. It's the full season, and he hasn't stopped.
Right. And I feel like it just keeps getting better.
Every time he gets bumped up, he bumps his ceiling higher.
Dude, it's nuts.
If that's what it's just crazy.
Okay, so OG says he agrees with you except on the percent chance. And I think what you mean there, and I'm going to go with you and like what OG's saying and the agreement part of this is that this front office will be convinced it will be one of those two, and they will not seek outside help.
No.
Is that where you're at?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because if Connor Griffin's not our starting shortstop out of camp, he will be at some point. So Jared Triolo, if he opens up the year as our starting shortstop, it's just to pass the time until Connor's ready.
Here's my second question now. And OG, you're on here too. You're in here. I'd like to hear your take on this too. Do you see a path where they say, yeah, but I believe in Triolo so much that he will then move to third and they won't pursue third base either? Where are you on that?
Where it boils down to me is we need power. And Triolo doesn't provide it. Cool. You got a good glove. You're starting to hit the ball a little bit better than you were, but you're still, no matter how much better Jared Triolo can be as a hitter, he's not ever going to be a 30 homer guy. He's just not. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you can be a viable player coming off the bench, hit okay, because you're not going to play all the time. Just hit fine. I don't need you to hit home runs if you're playing off the bench. I couldn't care less. Just don't be a gaping hole when you're playing. And if you're playing the third base that we all know Jared Triolo can play, then he's not going to be that huge of a hole when he has to play, because he's going to do something on defense that's going to save a run.
OG says he thinks they pursue third base, not so sure they land anyone.
And that's a fair assumption there.
So far in September, Triolo's hitting, well, let's go to August. He hit .315 in August with a .417 on base. .884 OPS in August, right? Still only 2 home runs. And still on the season, he has only taken himself to .230. And at .324 on base, which isn't terrible. I mean, the guy does walk.
Mm-hmm.
Cheryl says, I'd rather see Triolo as a J-Hay type. I would argue that if he becomes a starter next year, he is a J-Hay type. Because if you remember, J-Hay bounced around, but played well enough to solidify himself as a starter for a couple of years and was still good.
Yeah, and like, he started every day, but didn't play the same position every day.
He did eventually.
He
was second base every day once Walker was gone.
He would still bounce around once in a while, even after he was the starting second baseman.
But not like that. I'm saying
not like he did. Yeah,
he was the second baseman, and that I think this would be the transition of Jared Triolo becoming a either shortstop or third baseman, right? Stints as a starter, like at second base and in third base when people were injured and things like that.
There was one season where J-Hay was basically a starter, but he started a lot of different positions that year.
That would be that was him as the utility player. And he was bouncing all around. Yeah. After that, he was just a second baseman almost every day.
Yeah. When I think of a utility player, though, I still don't think they get a ton of playing time. But he played almost every day as a utility guy, which was crazy.
Sure, but you're talking about Jared Triolo right now at 95 games. He's going to get over 100 games. Last year, he played 125 games.
Mm-hmm.
In 2024, 125 games and spent 9 games at first, 47 at second, 61 at third when Hayes was hurt, 9 at short, and 1 at right. That wasn't as much as J-Hay, obviously, because he doesn't play as much in the outfield.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to know what year that flipped for J-Hay. 2018, 87 games at second, 2 at third. That's it. No other positions. 2017, 1 in right, 8 in left, 49 at third, 83 at second. 2016, 128 games at second base and 1 game in right. So like 2016 was when that flipped, because 2015 was second, third, left, right, multiple, like double digit in all of them. 2014, 26 in right, 26 in left, 8 at short, 72 at third, 17 at second, right? That's the utility player we remember. But by 2016, he was a second baseman. So, and that's what I'm saying is I think that, and still a good player, but that's where, that'd be the same path that Triolo is going down, except he hasn't had seasons as good as what Harrison was having. Hay was batting leadoff that year a lot of the time and playing different positions every day.
Yeah, and I think that's why I saw him more of like as a starting role, but utility, because he was like our leadoff hitter too.
Right. I think that Triolo's spot is, to me, should just be the backup infielder, defensive replacement type guy. But for my money, we've got guys that can do it. I'd just rather not have him at all.
Yeah.
So
I'm there.
Martin says most likely to happen is Triolo at third. I mean, it just depends on what you can acquire. I think they would go into this. I think you're right. Because I haven't shared my opinion on this. I think you're right. I think they would go into this saying he's either short or third. Whatever we can get our hands on, the best player we can get our hands on at one of those two positions, that's what we're going to do. And you know the Pirates, they just won't get a long-term guy. You know?
Right.
OG says, Bohm, easy guy to get, but not a power guy. Yohan Moncada will be a free agent again. And we kind of balked at that on one other show we had here. And then I think it was Bucko Mike threw a couple runners in scoring position stats for Moncada that was like, okay, I mean, I guess there'd be something that we could look at and say, maybe we don't hate it. But there are guys, I mean, obviously, Jake, your pipe dream would be a guy like Eugenio Suarez who is going to hit bombs no matter where. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so is that an option to say, like, we need homers? Let's go do something like that. I think that's very possible. You're going to have to pay for that, though. And we'll have to see how aggressive they let this front office be. Yeah. All right, let's talk about, first off, let's get this out of the way. Well, OG says Moncada's issue is durability. I mean, same with Hayes, same with a lot of these guys, right? I mean, no matter where you go, I mean, I think the Pirates are going to have to go after a guy who has an issue with durability because you're going to pay him less. You know what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately, that's probably the type of guy that might be in their market. Like we were saying last year, like a Tyler O'Neill. You'll be the only one to give him a decent contract, possibly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because no one knows if he's going to be healthy.
Luis Robert Jr.
Availability.
Right. Luis Robert Jr. Same thing. Like, the guy's made of glass, but you could go out and get him. And if he plays, he'll be a good player. Or not maybe even if he plays, but when he plays. Because you know he's going to be hurt.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about losing streaks. The Pirates are just on one. And I just happened to look at this, and their losing streak ended after 7 games on Saturday. It was the 5th losing streak of the season of 6 or more games. I think twice it's gone to 7. I don't think it's gone longer than 7. But twice it's gone to 7. 3 other times it stopped at 6. So that's 5 losing streaks of 6 or more games. How about winning streaks? Because they've done that too. One time. The 6th straight they won at home. That was right either before or after 6 losses, right? I don't remember which one it was. I think they won 6 straight and they lost 6 straight.
Yeah.
But that's where we're at. 1 streak of 6. 5 of 6 or 7. That's the story, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to know where they're at. That's the story. I don't know what you do. I don't know how you stop that. What kind of a problem do you see? What would you forecast if you were saying, okay, so we're losing too many in a row? Well, obviously, offense is a big part of that.
Yeah.
Because you
Score
can't
runs.
say like if you in most teams you would say we really need a stopper. But you have two of them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think that it's fair to call Mitch Keller. He's a veteran.
Yeah.
He's been good in this league. I know that he's not great every time out, but he's good enough to be considered to be a stopper.
Yeah.
He's a veteran. He should be able to step up in those moments and stop a losing streak. You have Paul Skeens, the best pitcher on the planet. That's about as close to a stopper as the most definition of a stopper you could get. And the offense just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And these as Martin says, losing streaks have killed them the last 2 years.
Yeah. That's the only thing you can point to really right now is just however we got to score runs. You just have to score runs. Too many times we lose. I just saw it earlier today. It was, how many now of 1-run games have we lost? It's incredible.
Hold that thought. I'm pulling that up.
Yeah.
Keep going, but I will pull that up.
They it's I don't know if they have to simplify some things and just, every inning is a game, man. Win an inning. Win innings. You win more innings than you lose innings, you're going to win games.
Yeah. 24 and 32. Well, 24 and 33. Because this is Baseball Reference. It's not updated for today's game. It was a 1-run game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, wait a minute. 24
that's why
and,
I saw it.
Yeah, 24 and 33 in 1-run games.
30, because it was 33rd loss, 1-run loss. Is the stat I saw. I didn't see the wins, but that's crazy, dude. Like,
yeah, that's 57 1-run games. And if you swing 6 of those, right, you've got 24 and 33. So you've got a 9-game difference. Swing 12 of those and all of a sudden you're good.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about 57 games, like if you're talking about a good, there you go. OG 3 and 25 on the road in 1-run games.
Jeez.
3 and 25 on the road. And you look at blowouts here, 18 and 26. We're not blowing people out, but we're getting blown out.
Yeah.
Not as big of a swing, but I mean, that's obviously.
What's that one? What's the considered blowout?
I think it's 5 plus. 5 plus is what Baseball Reference labels it as. 6 and 7 in extra inning games. Now 26 and 27 in the second half. You had that big swing of the second half, you know what I'm saying, where you were saying this team's good. This team's playing better. I want to say good. This team's playing better in the second half. They're showing up like they should be, and now they're back under 500 in the second half of the season. Now, we know that it started with a 3-game sweep.
Right.
So you take those away, and then you can, but just not good.
I think overall they are playing a little bit. They have been playing a little bit better. It's just still like they have to know that the offense needs addressed. And I look at, we're going to talk about some guys here in a minute that I think will be better. I think that Reynolds isn't going to have a season prolonged like he had this year, just that bad at the plate.
Mm-hmm.
I think there will be some improvements in house, but you got to go get some people. to fill some holes.
But before Friday and Saturday, okay, and today, before Washington, you could say, they had 6 straight games against Milwaukee and Baltimore that they failed to score more than 2 runs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even then, the offense, like you had 9 to start the month. You had that 5-run game against the Dodgers and the 3-0. And then this series, 5-5-3. So like, okay, but 6 straight games against, and Baltimore's not supposed to be able to pitch well.
Right.
Now Milwaukee does, but
it also seems like we score all of our runs in the first inning and then can't hit it after that.
Or 1 inning, whenever that inning is. That's what always happens.
Look up how many runs we've scored in the first inning. The second half. It's like,
well, that's 2 splits, man. You're asking me to do 2 splits at once.
I'm sorry. You're good at it.
I know, but you can't just pull up 2 at once that quickly. I could look it up, but right now I can look at first inning runs. That's not it. I need to go to innings. First inning, they've scored 71 runs. They've scored the same amount in the 6th inning. But you're saying second half.
Yeah, because remember, what was it? August, they scored when they had the big run in Colorado too.
Yeah.
But they had a ton of first inning runs in August.
Yeah.
And I think the second half they've scored a ton of runs in the first inning, but then they don't score anymore. Like today. They scored 3 runs in the first inning and didn't score again.
Right.
Like you have to add on, you have to be able to add on a run here and there.
Yep. And that changes the whole game. If you add a couple runs here and there, you win.
Yep.
Martin says they have been playing Bay. Cam Devaney has been terrible. Both those things very true. And you said they've been playing Bay. Bay's been terrible. There's no point in having that guy here. Hopefully, this is his last chance.
Yeah.
He has an option next year. Obviously, Devaney has options. I don't mind Devaney for depth, but he's just too old. So I also see, I say too old. He's too old to just, you can hang on to him and keep him for depth, but at some point, if the 40-man roster moves need made, he could find his way out as well. You know what I mean? There's going to be guys that could come up and strike out like 80% of the time too, or whatever his strikeout numbers are. They're really bad.
Yeah.
And Martin comments on Cruz in center field. It's going to continue to get better. That's all I can say. It's never been good. You see flashes of it because the talent is all the way there, but there's a lot of work. It is not, the guy's a shortstop and he's playing center field. He needs to, and he made errors at shortstop too. Like it needs to get better. I think
his offensive woes are weighing on him because he went through a stretch there where it was much better.
Yeah, but there will always be, unless there won't be, but the way it looks, there will always be errors. You're going to take the bad with the good. A player like that, that's what you do. Aaron Judge strikes out all the time and nobody talks about it because the good outweighs. O'Neal Cruz is at a point in his career where the good doesn't outweigh the bad yet.
Right.
If he starts playing well and he starts getting to that 30, 40 homer type seasons that he can do, it'll start to outweigh the bad.
Yeah.
But right now it doesn't. And so we're going to keep focusing on, or we're going to keep bringing it up. We're going to keep thinking about it because he's not winning games with the bat.
Right.
So if you're not winning games with the bat, you can't lose him on the field. Not that he lost that game, but it sure didn't help.
Right.
So, the thing is, no one play really loses a game. Really. I believe that. Even a bottom of the 9th error that scores the winning run doesn't technically lose the game. There's 27 outs. There's so many batters in every game, and you have opportunities all over the place. to make plays that would have made it a 2-run game instead of a 1-run game, or a 2-run game instead of a tie game. So no one play ever completely loses a game. But it doesn't help when you mess them up. Right? And that's going to happen.
So let me just make sure I understand your thoughts completely. If you're a Red Sox fan, you wouldn't think any way about Bill Buckner.
I think that Bill Buckner, it was not his fault. It was the curse's fault. Like you're talking about the curse. You're talking about the curse, right? Like he was cursed. The guy was a good fielder.
Right.
But we're not even talking. O'Neal Cruz isn't even a good fielder yet. So we're not even in the same ballpark. You got to be a good fielder. And then, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I'm just messing with you.
But no, yeah. I mean, I don't. And I don't think that, I'm sure a lot of people do, but no, if you're not a good fielder and you make a mistake, it's like, you didn't put yourself in the lineup. Somebody else did. I said from the very beginning, the whole shortstop thing, the whole O'Neal Cruz going off shortstop, it should have been straight to right field. It should not have been center field. And I understand all that goes along with it, but it should not have been center field. It should have been right. I think he'd have more opportunities to throw people out, which is probably the only thing that he's going to do fantastic. But now you can't, because now you got Reynolds over there, and you're not going to change that with his numbers. Until you move him to DH, you're not going to change that. All right. Bubba bounced back in a big way.
Mm-hmm.
An absolute stellar game Saturday. We've talked about the struggles of Bubba Chandler, how they're going to continue to happen. And he said after that game, the next outing will not be that bad, I promise. That's not verbatim. It's not a quote, but it was paraphrased very similar to that. The next game will not be that bad. And then he went 5 perfect innings and gave up a run in the 6th. And unsurprisingly, that run gave the other team the lead. Which brings me back to the Pirates scored 4 runs in the 8th. Again, one crooked number in a game. But he doesn't walk anybody. He strikes out 7. 5 perfect innings. They actually let him go back. I was surprised they let him go back out for the 8th or for the 6th. I was surprised. Yeah. But he gets through 6. They let him throw 81 pitches, Jake. This is a good thing. This is a good sign. They needed to let him do that and to build that confidence. I still question the sending him out for the 6th, only because you knew you weren't going to send him out for 9. So if you pushed him out for one more inning and then somebody says like, oh man, but he was perfect and the next guy gave up a run. Well, so did he. Hindsight's 20/20 now. He could have just had 5 scoreless perfect innings and been done. And you knew you weren't pushing beyond the 6th inning anyway. Yeah. So I don't mind it really in the end. I love to see it. As a fan, I want to see him pitch that 6th inning. I wanted to see if he could go 6 perfect and let somebody take over. But once he comes out of the game, I no longer care about a no-hitter. Not even in the slightest. I just don't. So, and I know that you have different thoughts on that. Sometimes it's impressive in different ways, but it's still, to me, isn't the same. Now, if it's perfect, I think I said before when we had that conversation that I'd be a little more impressed, but I don't know.
I would say when it's over, I'm impressed. When it's happening, I'm just like, it's just another game.
Yeah.
Until it's over, and then I'm like, oh man, we got a no-hitter.
Yeah. Anyway, great signs. You like to see it. Cheryl says, looking forward to next year with Bubba. And if he continues to build off of things like this experience is going to be really good for him, the bad and the good together. And so I'm excited about it. And I think he showed us all what his capabilities are. Just pumping 100 a lot right now.
What it boils down to with Bubba is whether he's going to go out there and throw strikes consistently or not. When he's throwing strikes, he's very good. But when he's not, they're not close. And everyone knows his reputation's already getting out there where if he can't locate the zone, he's not going to find it.
Yeah.
Like just take your walks and then he's going to groove you one and till he does.
You guys hear that? Is that just me or does Jake sound like a robot right now?
Oh.
It's like I'm getting 2 of your voice right now.
That's interesting.
When you first connected, I heard it for a second and it went away. But now I'm hearing it again. I don't know. Let me know if you do.
Does it sound okay to everyone else?
Yeah, I hope so. But it definitely sounds like a robot. And I'm guessing that if that's the way I hear you, then that's the way they hear you.
Maybe I'll stop talking.
Well, no. We'll just deal with the robot, Jake. But do talk more monotone.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Martin says he sounds okay.
All right, nice. But yeah, I just when he goes out and pumps strikes, when he can't find the zone. Now, that is something moving forward. We hope that's what he can correct, okay? Maybe he goes out there, he's a little wild, and he can, figure out the zone again before it gets too bad.
You didn't do the monotone thing.
I'm bummed out.
Okay, I just wanted to play a sound to see if the sound sounded like robots too. They sound fine. So anyway,
sorry, when they said I sounded fine, I didn't worry about it.
No, I know. Yeah, you're right. They did say you sounded fine, so you weren't going to talk in monotone.
Right.
Oh, I hear robot Jake.
No.
No. Oh, no. Sorry. It's getting to me. Oh, boy. All right. Well, either way. I mean, who cares? It is what it is. Y'all like what Jake's saying anyway, so it doesn't matter. We're going to deal with it. All right, let's keep moving here. Where are we at on time? Okay, yeah, let's keep moving. Let's talk about these two guys. Spencer Horwitz, Nick Gonzalez. Let's start with Nick. I think it's a little more familiar. I think a lot of guys probably have a lot of the same feelings about Nicky G. And in general, I mean, when you look at the statistics on the year, he's hitting 275, which you'd like, but then you look at the on base and it's 316, and you're kind of like, well, if he's 275, I'd like 316 to be a little higher on the on base department. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I get it. He swings early. He doesn't strike out like everybody thought he would, and that's because he's hitting early in the count. I think that's a good thing, and it's also not a good thing because there's a couple things that for me stand out, and I'd like to hear where you are on these things because when you swing early in the count, you limit two things, right? You limit strikeouts and walks. That's going to happen because you're not taking the count deep. You're not giving the pitcher the opportunity to throw that many balls. We had two guys walk in an inning the other day. One of them in particular walked on 4 pitches, and I don't remember who was up. Nick Gonzalez comes up right after that and pops out on the first pitch of the at-bat. That's like a big no-no. If he throws 4 straight, you take no matter what. So I think there needs to be a little bit of balance to that. I don't remember if the ball was a strike. It was in the top of the zone. I don't remember if it hit the zone or not. But either way, it's a pop-out. Like, just take another one. He might throw you 4 more and you're on base. And I know you're not trying to walk, but at the same time, you don't swing at the first pitch he throws right after throwing 4 wide ones. And Martin just throws it in here, walks right into my rant. I love it. Sometimes you got somebody that comes in and says something, then right in the middle of it just, the other thing that it does, as Martin says, I wish Nicky G had more power. And he wonders if Termar will push Nicky G to third. The problem is I think both those guys are pretty stuck at second base. When you look at the metrics on Nicky G's arm, it's not good. It might not be good at third base either. The arm's not good. He's quick at turning a double play, so it still works at second base. But he does not have a good enough arm to play short, I'm convinced at this point. Right? It's been too many years in a row that the metrics hate the arm. And so it's there. However, I'll go back to, I wish Nicky G had more power. By swinging early in the count, Jake, you're swinging at a lot of pitches that aren't the pitch. And the less pitches you see, the less you're going to see a pitch that you can drive. And so you see a lot of singles. The extra base hits, the slug in general is not happening from Nicky G because he's swinging early and not getting a pitch that he can drive. He's just out there throwing that stick out there. And unfortunately, one of the things that I thought this guy had was bat speed. And we're not seeing it. We're not seeing it at all. The bat speed numbers are down for his career. And I thought that was kind of one of the things. A quick bat, but the bat speed is not there. Did I write those numbers down? I thought I had some of those things. Yeah.
Last year he was in the 37th percentile. This year he's at 22nd percentile.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not, he's not there. The bat speed is not there, right? And with bat speed comes power a lot of times. Mm-hmm. It also comes with swing and miss, but the problem is his whiff rate is is high, about league average anyway. Just under league average in whiff rate. And so, like, even with a slower bat, which is probably something that he did to try to stop swinging and missing so much. But OG says he can be this kind of a hitter in the 7 or 8 hole. It's a problem in the heart of the order. Yeah, but Nick Gonzalez has the talent to be much better than a 7 or 8 hole guy. Matter of fact, I think I wrote it down that at his best right now, the way it looks, he's a 6 hitter. And
yeah,
I don't see it. I don't see it any better than that, really. And that's just because of a lot of these things. So I'll say this too, Jake, and then I'll kind of let you go because there's a couple things on here that you're probably going to have a comment on. But last year we talked about, but Nicky G hits when it counts. Last year he had a 302 average with a 326 on base with runners in scoring position. That's down to 208, 238 this year.
Yeah. Well, what I see from...
we might have to try to do something about the voice. I don't know what to do. It's so wild.
Do you want me to go out and come back in and see if it helps?
Yeah, I'm going to read some more Nicky G stats off going through the months. Why don't you disconnect and reconnect and see if it works? Right. Sorry, guys. We want to try to get to the bottom of that here. Cheryl says you're buffering on and off for us too, so hopefully that gets better as well. But I would imagine that some of Jake's audio stuff sometimes comes from his connection. So
any better?
Yeah, so much better. Sound great. So he doesn't play in April and May because of the injury.
Yeah.
That was actually really fast. June, he hit 297 coming back with a 343 on base with a vengeance. Locked in. We were loving it. July fell apart. 202 with a 272 on base. 582 OPS. August, 321, 339. Those are way too close together. If you're hitting 321, I'd really like to see that on base over 350. Oh, yeah. You good?
Sorry. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. And that was August. So who cares? You're getting good results. You're at 339. That's really the number that matters. If you can be around 340, 350 on base, I'm happy. I don't care what your batting average is. If you can hit that number on base, I'm happy. And some guys will get it by walking. Some guys will get it by hitting. But he's not hitting 321 all year. So,
right.
Like I said, in June, it was 297. And he started 343. So you like to see that. And in September so far, it's 250. This was when I ran the numbers. It probably changed a little bit today. Matter of fact, I have his page up right now so I can look at the splits exactly. And so far in September, he's 250, 283. So actually the on base went down a little bit. So I don't know. Power's gone. No home runs in August and September. And like I said, I think a lot of it has to do with just just swinging early in counts. I think that's probably something I'm sending him into the offseason with is I'll take a little bit more strikeout if you can give me a little bit more walks. If that's what you're afraid of, I'll take a little bit more strikeouts. Right? His exit velo, 28th percentile, he's not hitting the ball hard, but his expected batting average is higher. It's higher than his average. So it's not like, I know with exit velo comes expected batting average. With exit velo comes a higher BABIP. Like, that's the way it works. You hit the ball harder, you get on base more often. But with him, it seems to be okay. And so, it is what it is. But I don't have... I thought I had the percentage of... I don't. Okay. But either way, it's swinging early in count, not getting pitches you can drive, and that's not going to change. For me, or for you, I guess, with your rant on this, the question is what needs to change? Where would you be on it? Would you say I need more power? Would you say I need better average? Do you think that the swing happy Nick Gonzalez needs to be tamed a little bit?
I think a little bit, but I think for the most part, you need to let the hitter be the hitter. You can adapt it a little bit, but I don't want to reinvent the wheel with somebody who made it to the major leagues. I'm okay with him. I actually like where he's at as far as swinging early. I understand that comes with a little less power.
A lot less. There's no power.
Right. but I don't know that it's because he's swinging early. I think it's because he's not. I don't think you lose power because anyone, insert name here, swings early in the count. I think it's about what pitches you actually are swinging at. If they groove you some pitches early in counts, you should be swinging. But just keyhole a couple locations where you like to hit the ball. They don't throw it there. Don't swing. Be a little more selective. But early in count is still the second or third pitch too. So, I don't know. I think there are people who will take that pitch through their second strike, and Nicky G's never going to do that. And I'm okay with that. But maybe if we could tame him just a hair to where if that first strike isn't your pitch, go ahead and lay off that one.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's, a lot of times
I think it's reeling it in. I don't think we need to change him. So contained rather than an overhaul. You know what I mean? It's because I think he does need a little more power. We need a little more power in this whole. We need a lot more power in the organization, but we need a little bit more power from guys like him. But I also don't want to get lost in the fact that he is still a young player as well. So he does have room for growth, and he does have time to grow.
Do you have any player comps for Nicky G? Somebody that you think hey, this is a guy that's like Nicky G, but maybe does supply a little more power.
Oh yeah, so past,
anyone,
past, present, future. I would love Nicky G to turn into a Jeff Kent. I think that would be
Jeff Kent.
Yeah,
you're talking mega home run numbers.
He didn't have mega home run numbers, did he?
Jeff
He was
Kent?
just consistent. Yeah. He never hit 30 in a season.
I'd be shocked if he didn't. He hit 31 in 98. He hit 29 the year before that. He hit 33. He hit 37. He hit 27. He hit 29.
Okay, well, he hit more home runs than I thought.
377 home runs. This guy was a power guy.
Well, you made me think on my feet.
I did. That's my fault. I was like, Jeff Kent. How about Dustin Pedroia?
Okay, yeah.
Is that a good
That's
Like he's a little bit of a smaller guy, a second baseman that's going out there. OG says Colton Wong. I'll look up Colton Wong next. That's actually like I'll pull anybody like that.
Colton Wong was like a slick infielder, though.
I'm talking about at the plate.
Yeah.
We're just talking about hitting. Yeah.
I got you.
Colton Wong ended with 86 homers, but he had a couple years in double digits, 12, 11, 11, 14, 15. Those are some of the years that he played more games. So I think that's a pretty good.
I expect Gonzalez, best version of Gonzalez, to be able to hit 15 home runs.
Yeah, and that's all I'm asking for. He's at 5 right now, and we're about at the end of the season. Like and I know he missed some time, but like we're not even close. He hasn't hit a home run in 2 months.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at something in particular. That's why I asked for the comp, right? Because I want to look at a couple things here. And when I look at pitch summary, in particular, Baseball Reference, we're getting pitches per plate appearance, right? Mm-hmm. When I look at Dustin Pedroia, and I don't have the years that he hit certain home runs, but I'm looking down through just a quick look, and his lowest pitches per plate appearance that I see is his last year. Let's just count that out. It was 21 plate appearances. Let's look at the full seasons. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say 3.70 is the lowest I'm seeing. Colton Wong, I'm going to look, same thing. I'm only going to look at like bigger plate appearance times, which actually that doesn't matter for him. 3.71, 3.64 in 2017. 2017, he only hit 4 home runs. Let's look at like 2019, 2021, and 22. I'd like to see those years in particular. 2019, 3.66, one of his kind of lowers, 3.69, 4.12, right? Those were some double-digit home run years. Dustin Pedroia, double-digit home run years. I mean, a lot of them through those first, few times. I'm just looking at this. Nick Gonzalez at 3.38, which is also the lowest of his career, right? He came in his first year, 129 plate appearances, just a cup of coffee, essentially. 3.86 pitches per plate appearance. Last year dropped to 3.53, which is lower than any of those guys. 3.38 this year. Pitches per plate appearance. Like he's just not seeing we're talking almost 3 pitches per plate appearance. Not that bad either. We're counting walks. And so, OG says average Wong season is Nick Gonzalez's ceiling. I don't think so. I think the ceiling is higher. I don't know that he'll ever get to his ceiling this way. You know what I'm saying? But Colton Wong, I don't see that. I mean, his average season is weird because his numbers are all over the place. Josh Harrison is another good one. I could look him up. Because I think these are important comps. Josh Harrison was a swinger, right? He went up there swinging. So I think that's another pretty good one when you keep it close to home. 2014, he had 13 homers. 2017, he had 16 homers. Those are the 2 seasons where, other than that, he was pretty low. So if this it ends up being what he is, I don't want it, right? I don't think that's his ceiling. I think his ceiling is better than that. And yeah, that's what he's looking like right now. What was those 2 years? 2014 or 2013? Now I got to scroll back up. I don't remember what his double-digit years home runs were. 14 and 17. Did I just nail that? 3.57 pitches per plate appearance in 14. 3.74. And I'm telling you, in his other seasons, it's lower than that. And he's a guy who was a 3.56 career. Like he didn't take a lot of pitches, but that was where Josh Harrison was. Also, those batting averages were in the 280s and the on base percentages were higher than that, than what we're getting from him right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's the part that when I think of stuff like that, I want to see more pitches. There are guys on our team I want to see less pitches. That's the thing. That tells you right there that this organization isn't, as Sherrod says, Jeff Kent is a borderline Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Jeff Kent. This organization is not a one-trick pony. They will let guys, like that's the whole thing, player-centric. Remember that way back when he was hired? They're still doing that. They're not a one, like everybody's going to do the same thing. You saw that with Andy Haynes too much, where everyone had the same approach to a plate, to an at-bat. That doesn't happen anymore. And it didn't happen with everybody under Haynes. Like some of the veterans didn't do it. But you saw some of the younger guys all kind of go up there with the same thing in mind. And they are letting some guys play a little bit in their own way. Jordy Mercer, Sherrod says Jordy Mercer. And I remembered this, but I wanted to, benefit of the doubt. He was a guy that saw more pitches. He was in the upper threes, a lot of times even over 4. He was a guy that would take his walks. He would see a lot of pitches and get something to hit. 3.86 on his career. And as he got older, he was, well, not really, 3.81. I mean, he was close to 4 most of his career. So I think it's just tough because I also think of like the size, right? And Jordy Mercer was a taller guy. But Jordy Mercer's on-base percentages were always over 300 except for 1 year. So, but I like the Josh Harrison comp is good because he could end up being Josh Harrison instead of, except he doesn't steal bags, which is also interesting because he doesn't run slow. Like the metrics on his sprint speed is good. I don't know, man. I need better from Nick Gonzalez. I think that he can provide that. And I think that what I would work on is getting a pitch to do damage on until you get a strike. And just common sense things, Jake. I call that a common sense thing. If the guy throws 4 straight pitches, you take pitch 1.
Yeah.
100%. Every single time you take pitch 1. Unless you are a big thumper and you are looking and he throws your pitch. But it's almost like it's like a 3-1 count. You're only swinging at 1 pitch on 3-1. That's it. Mm-hmm. You go to 3-2 if he doesn't throw your pitch. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm not trying to slap a base hit to right field on a 3-1 count. I'm trying to hit it into the seats in center or left. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's it for me. So that's an 0-0 pitch after a 4-pitch walk. And I only want to see daddy hacks. Right? I don't want to see just slapping a ball to right field or popping out. I want to see you swing as hard as you possibly can and possibly lose the bat if you miss. Like I'm exaggerating, but what I'm saying is you should be trying to absolutely destroy the baseball if you're swinging on an 0-0 count after a 4-pitch walk.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
All in all, looking forward to next year, or are you looking forward to Tamar Johnson moving him out of the way?
I'm looking forward to both, but I don't think Tamar moves him out of the way next year.
Right. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
A lot.
I know you like Tamar a lot. That's why I'm saying, like, are you just counting the days till Tamar pushes him, or are you looking forward to Nick Gonzalez next year?
I'm looking forward to Nick Gonzalez next year.
Okay.
I want to see him make adjustments and improvements because I really like Nick Gonzalez as well.
And you believe that he can do it.
Yeah.
So Martin says Nicky G and Horwitz are not that good, but they aren't the main problem with the team. And we'll use that to go into Horwitz, and I'll say in between the two of them, I don't think that they are quote unquote not that good. I think they're good players.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're absolutely good players. And you're right, they're not the problem with the team, but they're part of it. If they're not playing, everybody who's in the lineup right now is part of the problem. They're not scoring any runs.
No.
Nicky G could be slugging more, and it would make a difference. Nicky G last year hit over 300 with runners in scoring position, and he's barely over 200 this year. So he is part of the problem as far as that kind of thing goes. If you have the clutch gene in you, and you're hitting 270 with a 312 on base, but you're hitting with runners in scoring position, I can live with that.
Yeah.
I can live with that from the 6th spot. Let the middle of the order be on base and in scoring position. I can live with that. That's Key Brian Hayes this year. Like, he was hitting over 300 with runners in scoring position. He's continued to do that in Cincinnati. They just have more runners in scoring position, so he's doing better. All right, Spencer Horwitz. I think this is a big one for me because obviously the wrist injury and everything like that. Pre-All-Star game, 46 games, he had 10 doubles, 2 homers, and his slash line was 232, 298 on base, and a 627 OPS. Through Wednesday, which was 47 games. Okay, so the numbers are a little bit different now. But through Wednesday, he had 1 more double than he had in the first half, but he added 4 home runs. He was at 6 home runs. 24 RBIs, that's 8 more in the same amount of games, 4 more walks, 15 less strikeouts, and his average went from 232 to 283. The on-base went from 298 to 363, and the OPS from 627 to 828. Now, Jake, that's a guy who was slow getting going, rehabbing from his wrist. I think the second half of Spencer Horwitz and what he's done while this team's not been great, this is a good player.
Yeah.
When your on base is up in the 360s, which I think through Sunday, I think I have it at 368 right now. 850 OPS. Add another home run. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now 10 more RBIs, but it's a few more games now, right? So 4 more games. So we're starting to add a little bit, but those slash lines they're not fake. They're still going up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spencer Horwitz is a good hitter. Exactly what we thought we might get.
He's a good first baseman too. So I don't think I don't think there's an issue there. I think he's solidified himself as our first baseman. I can't. The only thing that frustrates me about the move at this point, was the fact that there was possibly an injury when they made the move.
Sure.
Even though it's a different, all that, we remember all that. But
right.
I mean,
I'm sorry. The numbers are
Horwitz,
different, Jake. It's a 374 on base.
You're seeing the numbers that you're pulling up with the splits and everything. I can't disagree with him being our first baseman for the foreseeable future.
And you could say platoon player, right? Because he's only been playing his on base versus left-handers is only 283. But his on base versus right-handers is only 345. And I just told you that in the second half it's 374. So how much of that left-handed on base is actually better than the 283? The average is bad, right? But he's over 100 points better with on base than he is average. So if he can get to lefties, if he could be, I mean, I could see him being a 230 hitter, 220 hitter and still being effective if he's on base at 320, 330 against lefties. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if they start throwing more strikes, maybe he starts hitting more, right? I think the guy is very similar. I think he's probably a 12 to 16 homer guy. Maybe when he gets to the point in his career where he's maybe in his low 30s, the guy can maybe knock out a 20 homers in a season or two, starting to get it as a veteran, you know what I'm saying? Really understanding the zone. You could see him hitting over 20 homers for a couple of years.
I could see him hit over 20 home runs next year if he's healthy.
He's 27, so we're not far from what I'm saying. You know what I mean? He'll be 28 next year, right? November. He'll be 28 next year. So when you get around that age 30, you're starting to really understand the zone a lot more. You understand how guys are pitching you a lot more. And I think the power can then increase a little bit for some of these guys. Yeah, I think he could hit 20, but we're talking about a guy right now who has 9 home runs. I have a hard time jumping him all the way to 20.
He's
even
got 7 in the second half.
which is 14. Okay. So you see what I'm saying? Like that, it's still, I'm just,
I get it, but you multiply it by 3. It says 50 games.
that's true.
50 games, he has
He's at
7
20,
home runs. You're talking if you play 150 games, you're at 21.
Yeah, that's fair. But he's been hot. You're going to have some streaks in there too. You're going to slow down a little bit. Either way,
maybe
you could
he
be
has
right.
some other streaks along the way as well too.
Yeah.
So I see this guy as a 15 to 20 homer guy.
Okay. Yeah, and it's right there in the PNC Park is going to favor that a little bit from the left side if he can run into a few there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we play games in Cincinnati. Everybody can hit home runs there.
Yeah.
So,
and the bat drop the other day was just beautiful. That was a beautiful bat drop.
So the things that matter, Jake's on it, man. He's letting you know. I don't think that Spencer Horwitz is even close to an issue on this team. I think he's a solution. I'm there. I'm actually there. I think he's a solution to this team at first base. It's not a 40 homer guy. It's not even 30 homer guy. It's probably never going to happen. And I know that a lot of people want power from first base, but you know what I mean? You're getting a good player.
You just find it at another position. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not going to find it in any position, but
right. But there's power all over the field anymore. It just doesn't have to come from certain positions.
If you've got a 374 on base, it's playing no matter where you're playing.
Right.
And an over 850 OPS, like it's fine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think overall, on the right side of the infield, I think that we could be locked in going into 2026 and be satisfied with the guys that you're seeing there.
Yeah.
And I think that depending on who they acquire, I could see Horwitz being a 5 hitter, Gonzalez being a 6 hitter. I could see that in a good season. If Gonzalez drops down to 7 or 8, then your lineup's just that much deeper. If Horwitz is down to a 6, I think that's actually a really good spot for him. But you can't have everybody at 6, and I think we probably have a team full of 6 hitters. I think, unfortunately, that's what we see. But I think all in all, when you look at this side of the field, it's okay. Now, the other side of the field is so bad. So don't let's not get carried away saying, all right, we got it. I think that the Pirates do have a chance of doing something, but it's going to be hard. They're going to have to pony up and fix the left side of the whole field. The whole left side of the field is so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad that it makes it hard to believe that this team's going to be good. You're going to have to get bounce back seasons from Cruz and Reynolds. But as far as if you get the same thing as what we've seen in spurts with, you're talking about 2 guys who spent time injured this year. You take away those injuries and that time off that they had, and I think that you get a much more consistent season. For Gonzalez, you just want him to see more pitches and get pitches that he can do damage on. And for Horwitz, you just want to see him improve his at-bats against lefties or his hits against lefties. Right?
Yeah.
And if you can do those 2 things, every player gets a chance to get better in the offseason. Yeah. And you should be able to assume that every player gets a chance to put in work and improve themselves in the offseason. Most players will progress when they're on this side of 30.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty fair statement. That most players will progress. Yeah. So that's what we need to see from these 2 guys, and we're in a good spot on that side of the infield, especially if Nick Gonzalez doesn't get it done. I still like the at-bats I see from Nick York. We still know that in a couple of years, I think it's probably going to take a couple of years, Termarr Johnson could be showing up. And there are other guys, and second base isn't a hard position to really fill.
Right.
Jared Triolo could play it very good defensively. If they're going to keep a hold of him and they actually solidify some other positions with not guys like him, I mean, maybe that wouldn't be the worst thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we turned the page into 26 pretty well on that side of the infield.
Yeah.
Are you there?
I'm good with it. Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay. We're not going to have good conversations on some other positions later.
Dang it, Bobby.
You gotta make some waves this offseason. You gotta do something.
Got to do something. You got to cross the finish line.
Absolutely have to. You're gonna have to overpay some people too. So you're gonna have to pony up, or you're gonna have to take some big risks.
Yeah.
And that risk, when I'm talking about, is you might have to go out and get a guy who's injury prone, but has the ability to be really good when he's there.
You might have to get rid of somebody that you don't really want to get rid of.
Yeah.
That's another risk.
Right.
If you're not able to cross the finish line with free agent, you're gonna have to try to trade for something. And it's going to be, and we look at some of these guys that we're kind of excited to see break into the majors or coming back next year. And we may have to part ways with a couple of them in order to fill some holes. As long as we have the depth to absorb that loss, it's just got to be something we have to be willing to grit and bear.
We'll still be talking about that later. We're going to continue to talk about that. We're working our way here. The schedule says that we have 2 more in-season episodes. We're not going to, I don't think we'll do this for the other side of the infield. I don't think it's even worth it.
No.
They have to acquire 2 players. Or Connor Griffin has to be, I'm not selling out for him breaking camp with the team. I'm not doing it. He'll be here in May. If he's still hitting, he'll be here in May. I understand the potential, but I'm just not selling out for it. I think that you owe it to the rest of the organization to put a body there and not just sit there and wait for him. Because what happens when you sit there and wait for him and he takes a step back or he gets hurt and all of a sudden you say, crap, well, we didn't sign anybody thinking he'd be here. Well, that's silly, right? You can't do that. So, we still on out there? I think so. Let's wrap it up, man. We'll talk about the outfield next week. And hey, numbers don't lie, man. We're gonna look at the numbers and find the good or the bad in all these guys and figure out what it is. I think this week we had 2 guys with a little bit of a pass because of injuries.
Yeah.
So we had to be fair to them. We might not have the same thing around the rest of the field on a team that is now just plummeting down the stretch. So, sorry, I didn't mean to really kill the mood here at the end. Really kill the mood here at the end.
I'm bummed out. Yeah.
But, here we are.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
This is the life of a Pirates fan right here.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's play some music. Let's get out of here. And we always appreciate you guys listening, especially everybody here who joins us live and is in the chat and everything. I want to thank you. And hey, we'll be back at it the rest of this week. Or at least I will. Hey, you're getting close to 400 shows, dude.
Nice.
Isn't that nuts?
394. I love it.
Let's go Bucs.
Let's go Bucs.
Thanks for listening to my dad and Uncle Jake on the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Bridge2Buctober. Don't forget to subscribe so you know when new episodes are released. Clear the deck, cannonball coming, and let's go Bucs.